What's up everyone, this is Soul with another video, and today we're going to start doing patch 12.1 coverage. Woohoo! What we're starting with here are the decor pieces that are being provided with the 4 new endeavors that are coming in, including the Kobold right over here, the Tortollan, the Grifta, or actually the Amani, I just called it Grifta, and then finally the Centaur right down here. So we're going to be going through some of this decor. There's actually quite a bit that's being added. I'm starting with decor. I'm starting with the endeavor stuff because this seems to be the most complete. I wanted to cover professions actually, but those don't happen to be complete. There are quite a few profession items that are coming. So if you don't mind, please like the video, subscribe for more stuff. Use navigation because I'm going to be going through each of these 4 sections, and we shall begin with the Kobold stuff. Now, the number of decor that's coming with each of these endeavors numbers around a little over a dozen or so. So it's a good number. It's a good amount of stuff that's coming in. But let's start taking a look at what we've got, such as, let me make sure I hit the 3D button, such as this Kobold cabin. Now, I really like this one already, because it gives us an opportunity to have more pieces that can give us, you know, kind of an illusion. Like, let's say we want to set up a diorama or like some sort of illusion, and we want to have like small little structures that have like a very convincing shape. Something like this that has like a door, lights, and everything. Very, very convincing. And you can use these as perhaps like facades, or you know, you can kit bash these into other pieces here. Like, for example, you can take this section and use it as part of a wall section, or even the floors, perhaps. You can do the same thing here. You can flip these over and use the pieces that you want to, position them wherever you like, and then you can make whatever structure that you wish. But otherwise, a nice, pleasant little thing right there. Yay. Here is a candle sort of dealie, or kind of like a street lamp of sorts. Notice how it has this sort of glow right here, so can't say for sure whether or not this is going to have a bona fide lighting effect. I know some people are like, oh man, it's got to have the lighting effects. It sucks if it doesn't, and I totally get that. The advantage of not having the glow, though, means that at least on the outdoors, you can place multiples of these, kind of next to each other if you wanted to go for that sort of vibe, and you don't have to worry about the light like colliding with itself. So I guess another funny thing you can do here is just kind of jam this thing into another structure if you just wanted to show this sort of lantern shape right down here. So that could be kind of cool. Here we have a crate. This crate is, I'd say it's not quite as versatile as some of the other crates that are out there. Those which can be dyed, or you can kind of clip them in certain ways. Here you can see this kind of like V-shaped bevel right over here. So again, doesn't seem as versatile, but I'm sure that folks can pick up something clever. Maybe they can use the bottom of this for something else, or use these as like big buttons, or whatever you like. We have a number of ropes. There's like one rope here, and I think there was another. Yeah, so there's another rope there. I'll just take a look at one of them real quick. Now, very standard-ish kind of rope, but notice it has like this kind of like a lighter glow here, as if it was, a candle wick, and like these are just like more worn in, and so they have like that darker color to it. We do have quite a few ropes these days, especially after this most recent patch, the 1207, that gave us a whole bunch of different kind of rope structures, and this is just another one if we wanted to add a little bit more variety. Here is another street lamp kind of thing, similar to the one that we looked at earlier, but this one just offers what appears to be a different tool shape. That's cool. And notice it offers kind of what looks like a similar glow to what we saw before. Of course, we got to have a treasure chest. It feels very iconic for each of the races, cultures, or whatever, to have its own branded treasure chest. Of course, what treasure room is complete without having at least one of everything that's available. So kind of neat thing to have there. Tools are always great. I kind of like how this is kit bashed, because you have the knife here that's being attached here to with the blade of this spade sort of structure here. That's kind of neat, though. It's always cool to have like new kinds of like weapons or whatnot if we're trying to put together or cobble together like some sort of dummy or fake character or something like that. This one looks interesting. Now, this is just like a three-legged chair, as you can see there, and maybe some people can take these and just kind of like push them out to, you know, make something out of it. I kind of like this though, because you can see here it has this like kind of like curvature here, but you can use these as kind of like shingles of sorts. Now, we were looking at something earlier, you know, we were looking at this crate here. And while you can probably do the same thing here, that's probably the only thing I can think of, I'd say it's not as cool of a texture compared to this kind of like metal plated seating here for this chair. Of course, we have like a number of candles. We'll kind of go through these really quick. This looks to be like the biggest of all the candles. I'm not sure if it's big enough that we can climb, but definitely larger than some of the other ones that we're seeing here. And you can see here, like, I'm gonna guess that these are in fact going to have like its own lighting effect on top of the very small glow on each of these candles here. So we'll just kind of like go through these real quick. Yeah, this one, funny enough, only has like the small glow, but not the actual like flaming effect that you see on some of these others. Yeah, see, like, those are really subtle. But I guess it's because it's one of these larger candles that you're going to see something that's more like this open flame sort of look. And then finally, we have this kind of cooking cauldron of sorts, and that looks really gross. I mean, I think this is meant to be wax, right? Yeah, a candle cooker. This is the worst. I gotta say. Now imagine, like, you know, here's like you put a surface here, right? And then you sink it all the way down. Like you can make this the top of the toilet. So imagine that in the toilet. Yeah, that's gross. Let's move on. Let's move on to the Tortollan. And let's see what kinds of things that they get in their endeavor. We'll kick it off with the Ancient Memories of the Sea, which is, oh, this is neat. Okay, I like this. You can attach this thing to like the ground, or, you know, basically attach it to any old wall or illusion if you wanted to set up like this, and then you can have like these little like magic fishies of sorts going around. Now what's cool is you know, this will be a great addition for like any aquarium build, especially because this is translucent over here. So if you have like that a very blue background, and maybe if you use like a moon well to create little effects, this can effectively, well, it can look like a nice little bubble. So I think it would be a very immersive piece to complete your kind of fish tank build. There you go. We have a lot of these display racks. 1, 2, 3. I think there was one more. Yeah, 4. Yeah, 4 of these display racks. So they have like these different sorts of different assortments of things here, such as knickknacks, such as potions in this case. Yeah, very heavy use of this in particular. Yeah, it has like lots of like little things, bottles, bags, and what have you, a little bit of signage as well. We'll quickly go through some of these others. So yeah, here you have different baubles and little jade statue kinds of things. So kind of a neat setup. Now, as for, yeah, here's an empty one. I'm kind of interested in this one too, because maybe you can use these for other things. Maybe you can use this for like a raised fence, or like something to kind of like obstruct like part of a room or something like that. So, or something to kind of dress an empty corner or something like that. So, but of course you can always fill these up too with things that are preset, such as this stuff right here, or whatever you feel like putting in yourself. Ooh, this one's interesting. Oh, this one's very interesting. Oh, check it out. So here we have the fire, right? And we have this crazy intense glow. I wonder if that's how it's going to look on live. But what I like here is this grate. You have this grate here, or it looks like a rim or tire or something like that. But what's cool is that this is like very easy to kibash into any countertop, and then boom, you have your stove. You have your hot plate. Just put this thing on top, clip it through. You know, just hide the wood stuff, and then here you have your open burner. Nice and easy. And then you click on it, and you know, maybe not, you'd be able to open up your cooking UI. That's cool. Here we have a pot or a helmet, but it is a two-handed giant pot. And then of course you can fill this thing up with whatever you like. I like that it has this pretty wide, it's pretty wide, so you can kind of clip that thing down and then clip other things into this so that way you can serve whatever the heck food you feel like, or put in leaves or dirt or blood, something like that. Yeah, we saw those racks, and now we have this sea glass bauble. So it seems to project like some sort of lighting, whether it's a glow or actual light. Now, of course, you can turn it over like this, and boom, you have like kind of like this jeweled glow, or like an eyeball or something like that. Or you can flip it this way, and you can achieve the same kind of thing. You can have this crazy, scary-looking fish guy if you wanted to do something like that. And here's like it's creepy eyes, something like that. Or it can be like the button for like a TV or something like that. So nice little thing to use. So I'm sure that this will have a place in almost any build that has like fake electronics of sorts. Here we have another sort of lamppost, and kind of my first thought is to obscure this and just let this kind of hang and do its own thing, which should be easy to do. Put it against the wall or some other structure, right? And then you could just have like this. You could just have like just that part glow, or I'm sorry, that part up here. That's cool. This does appear to produce a sort of lighting, because here you have like the object, and then you can see how the light just kind of bounces off. You have that light greenish bluish color against the wood there. So kind of a neat piece if you can have like side by side, if you're able to. Maybe not so much on the inside, or I'm sorry, maybe not so much on the outdoors. Here is so here's a bag. Hey, cool. But I think we saw this bag in other things. Yeah, we saw this in other things too. It's like it was like right here. So this is like the a la carte sort of bag, right? You can use the bottom as like, okay, here's like a piece of bread or a fruit, or it kind of looks like a face. Like here's the eyes, and then here's like this, kind of like scrunched up eyes or something like that, and put a face on it. I mean, I think it'd be too small to do. Or you can have like this sort of face. Here's the eyes, and here's a weird nose or something like that. But yeah, kind of looks weird. But oh well. Here we have a tent. This one's kind of neat. You can people tend to use tents as dressings for new rooms. So for example, you can put this like above a door or something like that, and then you have like plenty of things to like obscure with. But then just kind of jam it in as much as you like, just right above the door, right here. Then put some branding there. Actually, what? This kind of looks like an eye, like a N'Zoth eye. Yeah, so you can take like, maybe not this blue bauble, you can take one of those Herondar ones, jam it right here, and then you can create that effect. Oh, that'd be kind of cool. That was very unintended, but thanks, Tortollan. Thanks for your seashell thing that turned out to be an old god. Awesome. Actually, let me take another look. Yeah, the legs here are kind of thin. So unlike some of the other tents that we've seen, it's not going to be, we won't be able to create like this fantastical framing, like especially something you can do with the Caldera tents. That's a really popular one. I'd say you wouldn't be able to pull off the effect here, but I'm sure this can find some use elsewhere. And once again, we have treasure chests. Awesome. Very understated compared to some of the other treasure chests that we've seen, but otherwise it's a pretty clean look. Now, of course, we can maybe take something like this and, use this top surface here as like big old wall trim or part of a pillar setup. Like imagine having this, you take these chests and you jam these into a wall, like, to like flank a door. Boom, boom, boom. Just take a whole bunch of these and then stack them high. And then kind of that cool effect. Or you can take this very flat surface here and then use that for like a countertop or something like that. Note how, there's a little bevel right here on each side. So you may or may not be able to achieve the effect that you want. Just be aware of that. But yeah, kind of cool, clean surface that we have down there. And then finally we have, from the Tortollans, we have a bottle or a button or a different button or the top of a thing. Yeah, it could be all sorts of things that we can use this for. Heck, you can probably take I don't know if you can be able to take two of these, link them together, and make like kind of a dumbbell sort of thing. I think the shape would be kind of funny because of this cork. If you were to try to put these like one on top of the other, I don't think that would look right. But oh well. But you can do I'm sure you can do all sorts of things with a shape like this and a very cool looking green. All right, let's move on to the Amani folks, aka Grifta's things. And at a glance, these look pretty good. these don't look like the kind of like super cheap knockoff things that that Grifta would sport, but we instead have these nice bits of decor, such as like this torch or sconce of sorts. Jam that thing right on the side. You have like this it'll be very cool if we can click it and then we can hold on to a version of the torch. Oh, that'd be sick. If we can get that sort of like small interaction. And of course, if this thing lit up and, provided some illumination throughout the house, oh, that'd be so cool to have like this whole kind of like spelunking kind of vibe. You go inside, you grab a torch, and then you start exploring. That'd be sick. Here we have a building peg or a stabby thing, shank, whatever. Or this can be a button, or this can be that's something for a tent, or of course, if you're maybe a wall post or something like that. Maybe a good use out of this too would be like, you jam it in, and you can use any number of the ropes that are available to kind of link pieces together. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool, because these are just cost coupons, and now you can get ropes for just gold over at the neighborhood. So very versatile piece, I think. Here is a decorative plinth or platform of sorts. Yeah, I can see this being like, hey, let's have like this cool thing to hang on the wall, and then here's like a head, or like here is like the top of a door, or you can flip it over and be like, hey, there's the top of the door, that whole framing sort of effect. Or actually, you could take this this structure here, this back, this bottom fourth here, boom, jam that thing against a wall, and then you can have a wall trim, either on the floor or maybe the ceiling, probably the floor first, but yeah, really neat stuff. And then fill up the walls with all sorts of other like troll kinds of looks. Yeah, love troll stuff. It's so good. An Amani road marker. Now, I'm guessing we gotta like, boop, just kind of jam it down like that, and then we can achieve this sort of effect. Kind of neat. We can put whatever the heck we want on top of this, rockets, figurines, whatever we like. The same thing upside down, sure, why not? Kind of neat. You can use this thing. Actually, can we use this for like other things? Actually, you can kind of, if these logs do stick out at the bottom, maybe you can flip this thing around and like do something a little bit different with that. Maybe you can achieve some sort of different effect. That could be kind of cool. Fences, always good. Always good to find fences that are cheap and available over at Founders. So really cool details here. Maybe for some it's too many details. Some people want the clean look of some of the newer fences that have come in the most recent patch, but something like this is a really cool thing to look forward to if someone wants that whole tribal look instead. Really neat. Yeah, like that. And then here is, of course, the post, which you can do like whatever with. Yeah, neat. I feel like you can like put hands here. I think this is supposed to be too small, but imagine like hands here, and here's like this high collar thing. Like here's the dude's head, boom, boom. Here's the smiley face right there, and this is like this weird high collar. So I don't know. I don't know. The shape just suddenly came to mind, right? We have these shrines here for each of the Loa. There's the Burb Loa, and it's using that platform that we mentioned earlier. It's just that in this case, we just add a little bit more. So you can have your, your favorite Loa over here, or you can go for like your favorite. You could just have like a thing of yourself. You are the Loa of greatness, and you want to show off how awesome you look. So there you go. So let's take a look at the other Loa. Here is this the bear? No, I think this is the lion or cat. Yeah. Cat is very much in that whole stance, like it's gonna pounce on something. But yeah, that looking fierce right over there. Next we have the Dragonhawk Loa, the Loa of Fire. This is one with the new quest that came in this patch. Kind of cool too. Now imagine, maybe might be a little bit hard to pull off, but I like the framing of this. So imagine someone had like made a car, right? And then they obscured this thing. I don't know how they would do it. They would just maybe it like rides really low. So just imagine like this shape right here. And then here's like one headlight. Here's the other headlight. Here's some fog lights down there. Then you got your big old like engine sticking out right there. Oh, that'd be sick. Oh, this thing would end people. If you had like raw stone just smashing into other cars or people or zombies or whatever, you know, all that's good. And then here is the bear. And okay, okay. Okay, I love the bear. I love this bear. You know why? Because like I'm just look at him. Look at the bear. Hey guys. Hey. Ho ho ho. Dude, bear dance. Right? He just looks like the way the teeth are there. They just look so goofy. He looks so goofy. Do 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 do. Ho ho ho. Ho ho ho. Let's go. Love this way. Oh, yeah, I love the bear. My favorite. My favorite. I'll have a shrine of those dudes somewhere in my project house. That thing was fun. All right. Moving on, we have a tablet, or perhaps a floor trim, or perhaps a wall section, or a floor, or a ceiling, or something like that. That'd be kind of cool. Or imagine, you know, you just kind of jam this thing in the ground. You know, made it as big as possible, right? And then you can have your door here, and now you have like your cool stone textured door. That could be kind of cool. Yeah, neat. And then we have a punch bowl. Wait, really? A punch bowl? Oh, okay, it's a witch doctor's punch bowl. All right, so this is their version of jungle juice. Got it. Now, thankfully, it's not as gross as the kobold one that we saw before. Nice clean shapes that we have here. In fact, with the way the colors are sitting here, you could easily play this off as this like an additional Pandaren sort of thing. You know, green and red Pandaren. That's just kind of like how that goes. So really cool setup that we have here. A little unattractive of a texture down here, but hey, nobody's perfect. Maybe they can clean that up just a smidge, but otherwise, kind of cool setup. Mystic Kool-Aid of sorts. And then finally, we have a rug. A nice, clean rug. Great texture that we have here. Yeah, I love the pattern here. Actually, this kind of reminds me of Xerath Mortis or something like that. But and then under here, same texture. Okay, it's just the question of, you know, what sort of texture do you want? Do you want it to like bevel down, or do you want to try to make it like super flat by flipping this thing upside down and then just jamming it into the floor? So cool stuff coming from the Amanis. Sorry. And then finally, we have the Centaur. Let's kick it off with this bench over here, which can be kind of cool. You know, this could be used as like, you know, different platforms. You can just have like, you know, boom, 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 and then use ropes or whatnot as gaps. Or actually what's kind of cool here, notice how this bench has the feet of this bench. These seem to be perfectly aligned. The actual surface up here though is not. So what you can do is at least like kind of like easily link these together. Boom, 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 you know, over and over again. You'll have this kind of gap, right? So it's going to look a little bit messy, but not that messy. So I think this has cool potential of being a new kind of like bridge of sorts. So kind of a cool thing that they have set up. Notice how flat this is too. So this can be utilized as like different surfaces as well. Next we have the Centaur stove, which is a great looking texture. Love how clean these look. So you can have this, you know, cool pizza oven and all that, right? But also you can just kind of like jam this thing like somewhere else, where you can take this structure. Oh yeah, dude, check that out. It's kind of funny. It's like, oh, check it out, dudes. Yeah, right, yeah, whatever. Look at this, dude. You can have this as a kind of like alternate skin for your floors, for your walls or whatnot. I mean, you're kind of restricted because you have this rounded texture that you kind of stuck with, but you know, I just have this to just like a bunch of greens or whatnot to like hide things, and you'll be fine. As a stove, it also looks cool too. Yeah, cool things you can do with this to create like just, you know, kind of like different textures or whatnot all in one spot. That's cool. Here is a Centaur table now. Yeah, kind of the same difference with the bench over here. Just kind of like link these things together. If you want to make like this sort of like solid wall, floors, roofs, and then check it out here. check out how there's like this little tiny gap here. It's an uneven gap between each of these planks. So it's basically the bench, but it's all tied together. That's kind of neat. So you can like take these entire, keep tying them together, just kind of link them together with a rope to make like this whole like kind of like a, okay, let me make this sort of cohesive suspension bridge or something like that. That could be kind of neat. Yeah. We have La Carpet, which has a really nice pattern. Yeah. Love how it's understated, you know, nothing too crazy, not too thick. Same texture on both sides, so this is definitely what you're getting. Of course, it's like, yo, you want to have like this cool decorative door or whatnot, or like this this mat where we're all just like hanging out and smoking on. That's cool. Very cool rug. I like it. Oh, big fan of these too, dude. Check out these walls. So here, so yeah, we have a short Centaur wall and then a tapered Centaur wall. Oh, that's neat. Yeah, so I could definitely see these being used as, you know, walls, duh. But you can use this as like wallpaper. You know, just jam this into the wall, make it bigger, so you can have like this sort of like log, this uneven log built effect. Of course, you can flip it the other way too. You know, flip it horizontally, achieve kind of a similar effect. Do this with the floors even. And then it even has like this bottom texture too. So if you wanted to do something with that, you can. That's cool. That's really cool. I like that. And then, yeah, here is the other version. Yeah, pretty much same difference. All right. And, oh, and then there's one more. Check it out. Here's the long wall. Okay, so great. So if you want to like double these up and make longer sections of like check it out. Like this could be a bridge of some sort. That's sick. That's cool. I like that. But back here we have this wide Centaur carpet. So somewhat different texture, but really neat pattern, as I said. Large piece. Great for pretty much any build because of the very neutral color. Here we have a ball. Hey. As for whether we can do anything with it, doubt it, probably not. That's okay though. But we got a ball. Hey. But we could also use these as eyeballs or any number of things. We can link these all together and make some ridiculous snake monster sort of thing. Sure, if you want to do that. All right. And then we have these baskets here. There's a closed basket and an open basket. So here's the closed one. I probably will have a little bit more to do with the open one. Or I can do something like this. Okay, maybe I can make it, you know, sink this guy down, and then I'll have like this kind of like pretzel-y looking thing. No, maybe not. Maybe not. But this could actually be a pretty good sock if you want to set up a pillar or whatnot, and then just embiggen this guy, boom, jam it into that pillar, and then you have this sort of like dressed, like kind of wrap around with the rope and the basket there. Or you can just kind of like keep this part here, just the rope part, and then the pillows will go right there, and then you have like this sort of like tie-in here. Yeah, that can kind of work. It'd be a little iffy with how you have like, here's like the edge of the rope, and you don't have a whole lot of clearance, so you have to be pretty careful about how you clip things in. Maybe the new pillars will work because those have very straight edges to those. And then here is the open one. So basically same thing, just doesn't have the lid. Jam your trees or murlocs or dead bodies in there, whatever you like. I don't think I looked at this narrow carpet, but I like narrow carpets. That way we have a little bit more versatility. Great stuff with the colors. And then food right down here. So it doesn't come from cooking this time. This time we've got lamb. We got lamb chops. Oh, that's cool. So all the folks that are like making weird bodies out of meat, you have a few more parts to work with. Oh, dude, no, check it out. The cooked rack of meat. Abominations. Here we come. Someone's gonna make a meat abomination, right? Just get like 4 of these, then you have that whole exposed chest. Oh, there we go, dude. A meat abomination. And then finally we have snackies, pet food, and water. Or you can use this structure to be like a little something else. It's a little awkward of a shape though. It's not like these straight lines that you would hope for. Same thing here. It has this kind of like pyramid-ish shape. It's kind of angling in at every corner. But so, you know, if anything, you can sink these guys down if you just want the dishes to be exposed like that. That can work out too. And that rounds up the 4 endeavors. We still don't know details about how it's going to go. For example, like, is every endeavor going to be active all at the same time again still? Is there going to be a cap? Will there be actual endeavors that aren't in the rotation? We don't know, but maybe we'll find out in just a few days when we get a new build and we learn more. And I can't wait to share share our findings. So please like the video, subscribe for more stuff, catch me live, and I'll catch you later. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay breezy.